Okay, welcome everybody to this evening's XAUUSD webinar. My name is Duncan Cooper. Tonight's webinar is live Forex market review, so let's get into things. Before we get going, if everybody can read through the disclaimer. If you're on a YouTube live stream, I cannot see the chat, so I can't see any questions coming in there, but you can join us in the webinar. I'm giving you the link. For those in the webinar, use the chat box or the Q&A box to talk to me. And yep, thank you for your happy Thursday. All right, so let's take a moment or two just to read through the disclaimer. All right, we'll move along now. If you don't know me, my name is Duncan Cooper. I'm Senior Market Strategist and Trading Mentor at XAUUSD Securities. And I've been trading the Forex market for nearly 20 years now, mentoring for more than 10. If you want to contact me about the webinars, my email is there, duncan.cooper@acy.com. Through the week, you can connect with me at the website, acy.com, go to the Market News tab or our YouTube channel at ACY Securities Australia. And if you want to connect with me personally, you can get my links. You can contact me through my Linktree page there. If you want to get access to the chart alerts and temps I'm using for MT4, contact Nathan.bray's emails on the screen there, and I'll put it in the chat for those in the webinar. There we go. All right, now, first up, like usual, we'll have a look at the news coming out at Forex Factory. Time shown on my time, Queensland time. So this evening at 10:30 p.m., just talk about the red calendar events. We have the US advanced GDP QQ and unemployment claims. And so it potentially can be volatile there for sure. So be aware of that coming out at 10:30. And then we do have into tomorrow evening, 10:30 p.m. for the US core PC price index month on month. So that's kind of an inflation reading. So the market will be looking at that. So it could get volatile there too, especially if this is upticking. I know there's a question about can the US cut interest rates shortly. Well, we'll have to wait and see what further data brings. All right, let's get into the charts now. Dollar index has been having a bounce. I've been monitoring this range on the weekly chart. And we pulled to the 79% level. And we're kind of hanging around these old support lows. So are we getting support here? And to be honest, it's not moving that far this week because the euro isn't moving that far, because the euro dollar or the euro currency forms 50% of at least of the makeup of the dollar index. So, you know, the likes of the New Zealand dollar and the Aussie dollar have been moving down quite heavily. Likes of the euro dollar and pound dollar, not so much. So this is a little bit range bound here at the moment, dipping and diving around that 104 level. Because we pull back to the 79% level, I'm inclined to think we may be moving back up the range. So, but it could move down. It's a little bit mixed in here at the moment in its position. It has moved above this last minor lower top here, so maybe we could be forming a little higher bottom in here. But if we move up over the next few days and take out this high, then that's going to start to form an uptrend, which will probably clear any ambiguity, if there's any ambiguity on a currency pair to the US dollar. All right, now, S&P 500 had a big sell-off yesterday. Some reporting is going on. I know Tesla dropped by 12% yesterday after poor reporting. However, to the weekly chart, this is the weekly range, high bottom, higher top. This is just corrective on the weekly, even though we did have quite a large down move yesterday. And we're only at halfway point to this bottom to top on the weekly. So we could, a good area would be this area down here to see this come into. We've got old weekly top here at 52.81, 62.79% zone here, is this would be a great area to see price come down in a bottom. It could start to get support around this area here. We've got some old high and a current bottom there. So that bottom at the moment where we're testing is at 54.42. But if we keep having a few more negative days, we could well see ourselves heading down into this zone. And I think that would be an ideal area for the, if you're more bullish on the stock indices long term, that would be a great area to watch over the coming days to then see if price action form some bullish form. And are we then going to get support here to move back up to test the high of the year? Okay, euro dollar now. Of this big range I've been discussing, we fell at the 62 level, we came into this resistance area. So whilst this area is higher than this area, it's hit a resistance area and then it couldn't hold that high or this high. And it's just asking itself, can it maybe get support here? At 108.44, we're trading at 108.46, so it's just hanging around that level. We did have a day up here on this day, so we do have a minor lower top here. So really this day chart trend is a little bit more to the downside now. Then it can't really say it's to the upside. It's broken a swing low here. It's put in a minor lower top here. Now it may need a breather rally, maybe a day up before it can maybe further move down. 4-hour chart, you can see the last 4-hour candle that's just finished. It did go down early London and then it's moved up, and it's a little bit undecided at the moment. Is it going to be able to hold above 108.44 or what is it doing? And if price action doesn't make any sense to you, you don't have to do anything. I'm just looking here on my 4-hour chart. I can see last week's low is here that we've broken below this week and got these 4-hour bottoms. If I wanted to maybe trade in line with that day chart downtrend at the moment, I don't necessarily like where price is sitting right now. It's right on top of this day chart support. But if price was to come up, so if I was looking for a logical area where I would be happy to trade to the short side, it would be up here at 108.69, 62% level, and last week's low at 108.71. Now, of course, we're not there, but I don't necessarily like this area right we're just sitting in to be a seller. So I'd logically look at this area. If we could get up there today, tomorrow, to look here for weakness to then trade down. So I don't have to like where price is right now. I don't necessarily, not getting the feeling personally that this maybe move down is finished and we're kind of getting support here on support. I think buyers and sellers are just having a bit of a battle today. However, if you're more bullish, you can see intraday here at the moment, little intraday swing here, holding on top of 108.44. You could be getting long right now. Get my little drawing tool back. You could be getting long right now, just putting your stop underneath here, so you have very limited risk to see if price is going to further move up. Okay, up the range to the area that I'm, this is the area that I would be watching. Last week's low, 62 level here at 108.69. All right. So those, personally, I'd just be looking to see if price can come up to this higher level. We did yesterday put in a low in London and then came all the way up into New York to put in a high. So we could come all the way up into New York to put in a high and then once more trade down. So 108.44, if I'm going to short without seeing price come up back up the range, I would need to see this 108.44 level break, and then price want to use that as resistance to form my top at to trade down. We don't have that at the moment. It did it there. So that's the kind of price action we want to see. Come up, hold to move down. We don't have that yet. We might be getting the opposite here. This could be support, but I'm not really looking to the upside on the pair. Okay. Euro yen, massive sell-off on these yen pairs at the moment. Difficult really to go, well, I should be selling, because do you want to be getting caught on the bottom? Now, at the moment, this is a little bit short of this top here. There's actually another weekly top just in here, which I should have in. And we're actually coming, that's the lower line, there's a monthly top. Now the monthly structure here is still higher bottom, higher top. And whilst we're having a sell-off, we could maybe just come back down within the range, the 62 level, that's 61, 161, 68, or in the 79% level. So there maybe is still some more downtime within this pullback within the monthly range. So it's not a given that the monthly trend is changing here at the moment, whilst we're having a very aggressive candle. On the weekly scale, we have a downtrend. We've broken below a low here, and then we're coming into some support tops. So we might be getting to the bottom of the most immediate move because we're coming into support. It's difficult to be a seller at the moment at such low levels. To be a seller at the moment for me, I would need to see price have 1 or 2 days up. Okay, could we come back up to this broken level of support to be resistance at 167.51? You don't want to get caught going, oh, well, I know it's going down, I'm going to sell at the bottom of the day or the bottom of the move. That may not be the ultimate bottom of the move, but you'd like to maybe see, you know, a little bit of price action like this, where we had a day up here, another day up on that candle, so kind of a 2-day reversal, just to alleviate the oversold nature of price. So that's going to be my commentary on probably all these yen pairs. It is very much way down at the moment. Now, the only other option I think you have at the moment of trying to trade, say intraday, is looking at the range of the day and try to short higher up. So there's the high of the day. Let's just draw a fib across the range of today. And then you could be looking at the 50-minute chart. Just dragging this across the range of the day. Now, according to my indicator, we've potentially done the range of the day. So do we come back up maybe to the 62 level or the 79% level of the range of the day? And then can you see it turn over? Yesterday's lows here, which is rather close to the 62% level. So we've got the 160 level, 166.08. You know, if price was to come back up there, we've had a rally then back up within the range of the day. And if you're still prepared to be a seller at lower levels, at least you're not selling anywhere near the low of the day. You're not selling on top of support here at the moment at 165.34. You're selling up, selling as prices move back up in some correction form. Okay. All right. Euro pound. Stuck between support and resistance here at the moment. For our chart. Now, I did say back to the daily that I'd be a lot happier waiting for this to come back up to this 62.79% zone for a sell, but at the moment it's lower down in between support and resistance here. And you can see where it's been holding the 4-hour chart at support, at resistance, tried to break through support, couldn't, back up to resistance. I think the play here would be to watch 84.16 if you want to trade this. You know, if we get a close back below 84.16 again today, then look to 84.16 to be resistance. So if we can, come back below, watch that to be resistance to trade back down to supports. If we get a much more aggressive move above this level at the moment, so if we, get up to here, well, you're probably watching this top and this 84.16 level to be support to then move up, if we get that kind of price action occurring. But we haven't come up so far yet, so this could still be a false break here, and in a couple of candles we could be back below 84.16. We're only 3 pips above. All right, it's going to the pound, which has been a little bit, it's been trying to get support. Well, definitely traders are trying to buy off this top here at 128.93 now. We traded below it Tuesday, Wednesday, and we're below it today. Hasn't been easy going in this area for the sellers at that level. Did offer you a nice opportunity to get short at the top of yesterday, back up to this 4-hour resistance, top of consolidation here on the 4-hour chart. Came all the way back up to resistance and then sold straight back down. Just want to go back to the daily. Now, next level of support is at 128.60. So if this is actually putting in now a lower top here because we've had a day down today. So on the day chart, that was a bottom there that we broke. That bottom, that day chart swing bottom there became resistance yesterday. So broken support became resistance. We're having a day down today, so that's now become a swing point. So the day chart trend is now down. So that, at least if traders have been looking at the pair and going, well, is this really in a downtrend yet on the daily? It's just starting to maybe map out that downtrend. So we may see a little bit more selling pressure because the day chart trend is starting to turn down. But the next area of support at 128.60. So you don't want to be selling too close to there. We could get a bounce there. There's another top over here that offered resistance earlier at 128.27. So you want to try and sell so that maybe you're not selling too close to support, and then you've got a bit of room to manage your trade and see whether support can break back down to the downside. There's a few imbalances on this chart. There's an imbalance there that's potentially going to get filled. We keep moving down in this area here. There's another imbalance that got formed back here. So we could actually be coming down to fill that imbalance. And that would offer, of course, if you're getting short higher up, that's going to offer you a very good target and good risk reward. Azu, hello to you. So day chart trend is most definitely just starting to turn to the downside. 4 hours a little bit difficult. It's a bit range bound here at the moment. That last candle was very mixed. It was down and up. So there's a bit of a battle coming on in this area at the moment. And that high here at 128.60 is last month's high. So are we able to come down to last month's high and hold? So from a buyer's perspective, 28.60 could offer a level to be a buyer from, as it's last month's high. If you're much more bullish on this pair, I'm inclined to think we'll come down to the day chart imbalance here, where we broke up. So with that in mind, then my bias would be to look for an opportunity to sell. At the moment, I don't like this 15-minute price action. Well, we try to move back above 28.93. We've already actually tagged it on the top of this candle to be resistance. So we heavily sold back below, became resistance there to trade down. Could we look for this to come back up to 28.93 to hold today, to be now a resistance point to trade down? If I had a personal choice though, I would much prefer to see price come back up here first of all. We failed at resistance up here yesterday. So being patient to look to construct a sell in the best area on the chart would be up here like yesterday. Whether or not price will get up there, but we could draw a fib from that overall move down. Now it has already hit the 62 level, so it may not get back up, but there is a bit of an imbalance formed here yesterday on the 15-minute chart, which the top of that converges with the 79% level. So just there would be great if we could rally back up. There's US news later in the day, so can't go back in time to over here yesterday now, but maybe if price can come up, that would be logically the best area on the chart to start to look for a short if price can play nicely. Whilst this 128.93 level could be resistance today, I don't personally like that level so low down in this move here. I'd much prefer to be a seller up here if it could get there. That's how I plan my trades. I find areas where I want to trade. If it was there, I don't just try to find any old area on the chart to trade from and try to make something work. Okay, pound yen. Now, if you go to the monthly charts, this long-term high here, we're actually coming down. That's at 195.88, and we've been today to 195.93. So this top could be support potentially, or we know we could move below it and it could become resistance next week. So just looking at the bigger picture levels, that's a significant one that we're in the proximity of, 195.88. Weekly trend has turned it down, breaking below this low. Day chart is quite clearly down. Intraday today, if you're prepared to be still looking for a short within this is a downtrend, so I don't know if I'm that bullish about trying to buy it on at any price point, but we've broken below 197.19 today. Intraday, you could look at that area and see what happens if we do rally back. So 15-minute chart. And we could draw a fib across today's range. We've already done the range of the day. And, you know, if you're prepared to be a seller within this downtrend at such low levels, you know, like I said, I'm just getting rid of that fib a moment. Like I've been saying on other pairs to the yen, it would be much more prudent to allow this to have 1 or 2 days up back to some form of resistance and then look to be a seller higher up. Now, whether or not the market's going to offer that, this is, you know, in a deep decline at the moment, but after 5 days down and a large move down, the bottom, we're getting closer to the bottom. So if you keep selling at such low levels, at some point you're going to be wrong and it will have 1 or 2 days up. So the more prudent thing would be to wait for 1 or 2 days up and then look for another lower top to form and then look to, you know, to look for a short on a lower time frame. However, price doesn't necessarily have to have days up. It could just keep going down, especially like the Aussie yen, and it doesn't want to have a day up. It can get difficult if you're not already short. All right, but you can look at the range of the day, draw a fib across the range of the day, and look to the 62.79% zone. 79% zone is at 198.01, 198 is the figure, and yesterday's lows here. So that would be an area to watch in this zone here. So that's around about 197.80 up to 198.00. If price could get up there, at least you're at discount, you know, you're looking at a level that's at discount to today's price action. Whereas where price is right now, you're at premium price to today's price action. Okay, Aussie yen. See, Aussie yen at the moment, it's 2, 3, 5 negative days down, and these days are getting longer. But we're heading into maybe this area here at 98.58. All right, I'm sure a few people who've been watching my analysis when it was going up, and I was saying we're at all-time high, significant historical highs here. Price is probably going to fail here at these levels. That's what it normally does, and it kept going up. And probably thinking Duncan doesn't know what he's talking about. But at historical highs, doesn't matter how. Usually, when you're approaching these historical highs, the market is in a strong trend. Sometimes it just stops at the highs. Sometimes it will trade through the highs, but you can see the reversal we're getting because that was as high as price we've had in 18 years. Wouldn't surprise me now to see price over many months come all the way back down to the bottom of the range. All right, so in terms of swings, well, this is still an uptrend on the monthly chart because the major bottom is here. That's the major high, but as we get into the lower time frames, well, the weekly trend is going to be down. We could most definitely, though, get a bounce here at these two monthly highs at 98.58. I mean, if you've been able to make some money on the short side here, we get down to 98.58. That would be a great level to take profit. And if you've made profit, it could be a great level to try to get a tight entry to trade up. And if you lose a bit of money, you're just giving back some money you made. Because we could well get a bounce down here. Day charts, if you're still prepared to get short, then as I've been saying on the other pairs, just put your fib across today's range. Look to the fib zone. Could look to 179 and 79 fib to the 101 level. All right. That would be a discount for the day. This is at a premium. This is like premium price for the day. We're almost at the day's low, and we've already done today's range. Today's projected range is already done. So high chance that you're selling the bottom here. You want to wait for a rally. Now, a rally might not come, but in terms of probability, the selling so low down is becoming less probability that you're going to be successful. Okay. Now you can see on any of these yen pairs at the moment, the rallies are limited at the moment, but sooner or later we're going to get a rally, and you don't want to be getting caught selling just before the rally. Right, similar story on Aussie. Aussie's now 2, 4, 6, 7, 9 straight days down. Today is getting longer than the last 2 days. This is probably coming down at some point to test the yearly low. So I did put in a fib across the December high to the current year low. Discuss this 79% failure potential. I actually said I got short up here at 67.94. Still short because I said I was watching 68 from the previous year where we were struggling. And I'm going to try and hold down to here. But getting in, if you're not already in, could be difficult. We've broken this low here at 65.75. So over the next day or two, you could watch for, we might even have another day down tomorrow, but can we then maybe get 1 or 2 days up to this level? 65.75, maybe up to 66, to then turn over to continue down. Rallies are very non-existent on the Aussie pairs at the moment. But do you want to be buying at the bottom of the move? Sorry, selling at the bottom of the move. So there's the 4-hour chart. You could be drawing a fib across most immediate range, waiting for a rally. So the 62 level at the moment does overlap with the 65.75 level. So you can monitor that with that fib range. Whether it will give you that rally, because rallies are very short-lived at the moment, you could be using the range of today, which is That's telling me it's the high of the day at the moment. I'm inclined to think it's more just here. So I'm going to use that range. I'm just going to go back to the day chart and see where it says the high of the day is. All right, it's actually here on the day chart. So then look at that range from the day chart. Look to the 62.79% area. What does price do if we get a rally? Price may not rally. We're at the bottom of the day at the moment. We have done the projected range for the day, and we're at the bottom of the day. So do you want to, after already moving down the best part of probably 60 pips, do you want to be selling at the bottom of the day? Now you can see of yesterday's range, there was a low yesterday. We just started the new day and we just dropped straight through it. There's no real rallies happening, but you really want to just be patient and wait for an appropriate rally. As I said, I got short near almost at the top of the market. And the way I worked that out was, and you can, this was last year's price action where we were really struggling last year at 68. We did get above a couple of times here, but we really struggled at 68. It was a focal point where we were struggling. And I took stock of that area from last year, and that's why I was looking to get short at 68 and got short just underneath 68. And yes, I could have been wrong, but I knew there was a 79% level there too of this range. I knew what happened at that price point. Last year it was very sensitive, and so I took that information and traded there. But you could look at levels this year that are sensitive, and then again, next year, if you know areas that were sensitive the previous year, they should be sensitive this year. And of course, nobody can go back in time now and get short from up there, but this level down here could be very sensitive and see a nice bounce back up. So if you're not able to participate to the short side at the moment because you just feel it's too overrun, well, get the levels in where the market could significantly bottom at and get ready for the next move up at some point. All right, so look for a rally. If a rally occurs, I know it's a bit difficult at the moment. Just want to see what that euro dollar is doing. So it is still getting support at 108.44 here at the moment. What's the pound doing? Not too much. All right, New Zealand yen. It is right on support at the moment. Like, you know where the trend is, but you're not going to sell right where price is. 89.945. To the monthly chart first of all. Now, I've said this on the Aussie yen. I don't want to be like a broken record, but when you get to significant high points, just have the expectation that we're going to move the opposite way. If we're coming up to yearly highs or yearly lows, significant high points or significant low points will often get a very strong change of trend, okay? So on my charts, this is the potential high on the chart. I don't know if there was a higher price on New Zealand yen beyond 1988, but this 2007 or 6 high is holding the market. We did trade above it. So just because it trades above it doesn't mean to say that we are heading up another 1,000 points, 1,000 pips above it. Stops are going off above the high, and retail traders think it's going north, but really institutional traders are selling. All right, now the monthly trend hasn't changed because we still have a bottom here to a top, but the weekly trend has definitely changed. Just want to go back to the monthly moment. This is going to be critical for a bounce. It's very similar to the Aussie yen area, 88.16. Some monthly tops in here. At the moment, we're coming down to a weekly level of support. We have traded beneath there, so potentially the weekly trend changed down. However, that could be a double bottom. Daily, be a brave man or woman to be buying down here at the moment in the face of this very negative move. Really, if after the long drops we're having at the moment, if you're thinking about getting long, you want to really see the structure on a 4-hour chart turn to up. And we're not seeing that at the moment. All right. So like I've been saying, really just monitoring the range of the day. If you're wanting to get short today and you haven't got short, you would need to see price come back up within the range of today. Monitor that range. There's a range of today. All right. So again, look to the sell zone of the fibs, 62 to 79% area. 79% area at 90.93 up to 9100 would be great if we could get there. We'd obviously have to have an intraday rally of 100 pips, but it has moved down today more than probably 140 pips, close to. But at some point it's going to have a rally. You got also the day before yesterday's low area here. It would line up with that level too. Now, I don't know if we're going to get a rally on any of these pairs, but I wouldn't sell just at the bottom. And here you're on weekly support. So, maybe you're more bullish New Zealand yen cross. This is a very strong level, potential strong level of support. If you could get a very tight entry here, you start to see maybe intraday bullish price action. Maybe you want to have a go at getting long, but it is in the face of a definite strong downtrend. All the yen pairs are going down at the moment, so why would you want to buck that at the moment? New Zealand dollar. The double top on the weekly chart is looking much more like it could come to fruition. Needs to break this low here to have a chance then of being a double top. So the double top is here. Target for the double tops down here at 54.85. So still plenty of room to take some profit out of the market if we're heading down towards there. But you want to ideally sell some form of rally, which, it's like the Aussie at the moment. This just does not want to have a day up. We may get, though, if we came down to support here, some form of bounce in the short term. So the market having a bounce would at least then give you the opportunity, maybe over the next week, to look for an opportunity to get short after the bounce occurs. To the short side at the moment, I would need to see this have 1 or 2 days up. So if you're more bullish than New Zealand dollar, of course, you could be looking down here at supports for the market to hold to turn back up. That is a definite possibility, because if we can't break below here, then we're still then really on the weekly chart in some form of a range. So if you're more bullish New Zealand dollar, this is where you want price to stop at. See some lower time frame bullish price action to give you the emphasis that, okay, yes, you can get long down here, but in the face of everything at the moment, there is a double top potentially here. And for New Zealand, I think they were a little bit more dovish from the last interest rate statement, even though no change was. That market could be selling here, anticipating that at some point soon the New Zealand central bank's going to cut interest rates, which isn't going to be bullish for the price. So, but there's definitely we can't break supports, then I'm short at the moment. If we can't break support, I'm probably going to have to jump out. I'm trading this double top at the moment. I got short at 61.39, this 79% level. So on the day chart, got short at 79% level, and I'm looking for this low to break, targeting the 54.85 level at the moment. So I just want this to keep on going down and breaking the support. I don't really care if it doesn't have a day up because I'm already short. But if you're not short and you want to get short, you really need to see a couple of days up maybe and then look for an opportunity to get short. Okay, dollar Canadian. I'm wanting this to break this top today, 38.45. I got long. If you've been following me, I got long on this day here, down at 136.03 or 136.02, or in between 2 and 3. And question is, have we been consolidating to then see a massive breakout above all these highs to the left? Difficult to take your position now because we're heading straight into resistance. So I bought at support and I'm wanting to see all my resistance levels here break. If price starts to hold, I'll have to jump out of my position. But getting in at the moment is not easy because we could see a 1 or 2 day pullback to this daily level of broken resistance at 37.91. That would be ideal if you're not long. So if we could get a daily chart pullback to 137.91, that would be ideal if you wanted to get onto the buy side. If you're starting to get the sensation that it's ready to be a bear, of course we're coming up to resistance levels, so we could most definitely fail up here at 138.45, hold, and yes, we could then totally reverse all the way back down here because we could just be in a long-term range. All right, so the question at the moment is, will we break above or will the top of the range hold? So you could watch 38.45 as a level. Do you start to see bearish price action intraday? Are you prepared to go short? That's pretty strong up there at the moment. Out of all this price action through all this period, this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days up. But this is probably the most bullish we've had in terms of days up. So we could be dealing with a breakout. Dollar Canadian, of course, cut its interest rates again. If they're going to be further cutting and the US isn't, that's why we might see a breakout. Prices getting repriced because of interest rate changes. All right, so those were my two levels. The buy side would be 137.91 if you want to buy. And of course, we're heading into a number of resistance levels, the first one being 138.45. So failure there could offer a sell side trade, okay? Dollar franc. Dollar franc's very much in opposition to what we're seeing on maybe the pound dollar and the euro dollar, which are moving ever so slightly down. Aussie's moving down, New Zealand dollar's moving down, and dollar franc's moving down. So that's really in opposition to what should be, you would really think the Swiss side has been cutting interest rates and the US isn't. So you would think that the dollar franc would be moving up, but quite clearly the market believes fundamentally, no, it should be going down. So we're seeing levels of support break. The weekly chart trend here is remaining down. So the trend on here is down. So we're obviously trading below this level of support that was holding at 88.26. So that would be a primary level to watch a rally back to. As a minor for our top here. keep dragging that down if price keeps moving down, but really I'd want to, look at this as a prime level, last month's low, which is now broken. Look to that to be resistance on a rally if you can get a rally, 88.26. Because of course people were buying here, there was a false break here and people bought here. It was holding here for a candle or two and then we've broken. So there's going to be plenty of people that bought in this area that are still in bought positions. If price was to move back, they would want to clear their positions by selling, and that will create the resistance. So that would be the area to watch now to get short from. Okay. All right, dollar yen to the weekly or even the monthly. Monthly, we are $160.33 false breaking. And on the monthly scale, we are in an uptrend, like all the other yen pairs, still higher bottom, higher top, but of course we're getting a massive sell-off at the moment. It's coming into the 23, 22 highs at the moment. So that could be clear support in the short term. There's a weekly low using this as my level, 151.94. There's another low here just below 19. That's at 190. 191.94.1, 151.85 here. All right, so trends down on the daily coming straight into supports. Is support going to hold, or do we just bounce intraday to further follow through? I think to trade a reversal again, you maybe want to start to see bullish 4-hour structure, and we don't have that yet. 4-hour structure is quite clearly down here. And these imbalances that have been forming, we're not coming back to those at the moment. Came back to most of it here. It has had a reversal 4-hour candle here. So, I mean, if you wanted to get bullish, at least you're getting a little bit of a sign, but there's a minor swing just there to the 15. If we're not seeing bullish price action on the other yen crosses, then I would, be inclined to say, does it offer a rally to sell? You can just watch this area. I don't really like, trends down at the moment. I don't really like being a seller on a rally when we're hitting supports, but I don't know if we can have such a strong reversal here that all we get is a bit of a cap bounce here, and then we're going to come back down and break support. It's a bit of a difficult area at the moment. Personally, I would look at a different pair at the moment. I could entertain the bull side, the buy side. So you could look to here, 153.26 to 153.63, that fib area. What happens if we get back up into there? Do we start to hold once more? Do we want to move down? If you could see a nice clear intraday reversal. But back to the 4-hour chart. We have had a reversal candle here, and if you were prepared to go in the face of that reversal, or in the face of the trend, so there's the range of that candle. So the range of that candle, in fact, you could just draw a fib from that high to low. I was doing the 50-minute swings yesterday in yesterday's webinar. This has pulled back to the 62% level. So there is a possibility here that we will get a move up from support. We pull back to the 62. You could be putting your stop just below the low here. And are we going to come back up the range today? It's very much counter trend. But if you could even come down to the 79% level. Yeah, at the 62 level, you're going to need to risk about 35 pips, probably something like that. But that 35 pip risk could, let's go back to the day chart. If you get a 35 pip risk here on clear support, the 22, 23 highs, this could come all the way back up the range. That would be a great risk reward trade. So I will often maybe take that play, but it's easy to take that play if you've gotten out of a trade and made a good profit on the way down in line with the trend. And then this next trade is going to get paid, if you're wrong, by the profit you made on the way down. All right, so let's wrap up gold. All right. Now, we were in an uptrend, but the day chart has come up over the last couple of days. Was getting support on support, 23.92, but came up to hit this old high over here, 24.31, and failed. And we've moved below that low now to put it this day chart in a downtrend. So this area of what was support at 23.92 should be the area to look for resistance intraday now. All right, you don't want to be selling into this high. We're just bouncing off that area at the moment. Now the weekly chart, you can see weekly chart may be moving back down within this fib range at the moment for retracement. We're almost at the 62 level, but it could come down to the 79% level. All right. So I would look, if I wanted to trade gold at the moment, well, it does beg the question on the weekly chart. Does this area of support from the day chart in line with that 62% level, is that actually a buying area? All right, we had a bullish candle move up from that area. And, sellers, any upward move, if we're not going to move up with any bullish nature long term at the moment, should get stopped at 23.92. So that would be an area to watch if you want to get short in the market. And really 23.68 down to the 62% level at 23.61. This should be watching this area for potential support to trade up from. All right, so that's the buy side, and that's the sell side of the market here. Could be selling here to move deeper down to the 79% level, or are we getting support at 62 level to move back up? Of course, gold's been moving down. Stock market had a heavy sell-off yesterday, so I'm sure gold followed its decline yesterday. If the market does the same thing, is it going to have another day down? Not really in a great position that I'd, if this was the only thing I could trade, I don't necessarily like this area at the moment. It's a little bit narrow. And, most immediate day chart trend is down. After having a failure here on support, we're getting support there at 23.92 and then it's failed. So you'd anticipate that we could come back to that area to hold now to move further down the range, okay? So it's a bit of a difficult area. Really, you have to ask yourself, what side of the market do you want to trade on? And then where's my support and resistance to trade from? All right, so that's my thoughts on gold at the moment. So just to recap, some of these yen pairs, they could be getting close to, bottom areas where they could bounce from. It is a bit difficult. You could be trying to catch a knife at the moment, catching a falling knife if you're trying to buy. But it's difficult to short when you're at the bottom of the, you're at the bottom of the move at the moment. But of course, we could have another 3 or 4 days straight down. And you go, well, why didn't I short? But if you're not already short, why are you not already short? You should have been shorting higher up. I was actually short and got out here, which of course now I'm kicking myself because I thought this area of support would probably, be an area where I need to take profits at. So I got out there, and quite clearly it keeps moving down. All right, so game of patience on a lot of pairs at the moment, maybe waiting for maybe a bounce before further downtime. All right, so I'll leave you with that analysis. Want to join me next week? I'll be back on Tuesday with more analysis. Tuesday, the 30th of July, 7 p.m. Sydney time. So if you want to join me there, just register your interest at the link at the top, and I look forward to seeing you then. Other than that, have a great rest of the trading week, and look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Azu. Thanks, Yip.